Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 5:51 and AC/DC with Bax and Nagle and Rock 102.
We're in for another monsoon for the next couple of days. Rain with a high of 73 today. Rain with a high of 79 tomorrow. It's 62 right now in downtown Springfield.
Hollywood Trash is brought to you by Western Mass Masons. Call them for all your foundation and chimney needs.
Somehow you still care about what's happening in Hollywood. So, from Tinseltown, 3,000 miles away, it's Steve Nagle's Hollywood Trash.
If your name is Brad Pitt and you live in New Zealand, McDonald's wants to give you a free quarter pounder.
Why can't I be that guy?
I don't know. Actually, only if your name is Brad. It doesn't even have to be Brad Pitt, and it's all because of Brad Pitt. Brad rolled up to a McDonald's drive-thru in Auckland on Easter Sunday and had a brief interaction with a young fan who posted the video on social media. So now all Kiwi Brads can get hooked up as long as they have the McDonald's app. They were supposed to have it had by the 12th of this month, which was Monday, and the offer is only good till Sunday. In the video, the young girl asked Brad to say hello to her dad. At first he says no, but then he quickly changes course and says, quote, "I'm sorry, hi Dad. All right, moving on, happy Easter."
There's got to be easier ways to get a free quarter pounder in this world.
You know what? He probably said, he said no, and then he realized he's got a camera. This is going to be all over the internet if I don't say hi. So he says hi. And then all of a sudden, McDonald's turns it into a marketing opportunity if you live in New Zealand and yada, yada, yada. If your name's Brad, you get free French fries.
Now, that would sound to be opportunistic.
Yeah.
But if they really want to do this right, they should do free quarter pounders for everybody.
Well, they should.
Named Brad.
But they're not going to.
A ripoff.
Toni Braxton, her son Dizelle, graduated from Howard University last week, and Toni was there to support him. Some people on social media congratulated Dizelle on his accomplishment, but even more commented on the inappropriateness of Toni's outfit. Toni wore a sheer black button-up blouse and a see-through lace skirt, and it showed a decent amount of skin. One person called it stripper funeral attire, and another suggested she was dressed for a pimp's funeral. You know what? Toni Braxton is still a good-looking lady, and she can wear whatever the hell she wants.
I just Wikipedia'd her just to see what... She's 58. She looks terrific.
And I don't even think her... I guess it's a little revealing, but who cares?
You know what? If she looks good doing it, and she's confident in wearing it, what do I care?
You know who usually complains about that stuff?
People that don't look anything like Toni Braxton?
People that can't look good enough to pull something like that off at a,
Most of us don't look good in a beat-up T-shirt.
Yeah. I remember years ago at a Holyoke Community College awards ceremony for students when I was going there.
Yeah.
There's one guy, he had a girlfriend, and she was a stripper at a local club, and she came along in this like one-piece, just like a bodysuit dress. You know what I mean? You know what
Sure.
I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And the looks she got from the women that were like, oh my God, how would you show up to a thing?
Look at her butt.
There was not one guy. The only people that were agreeing with those women were the husbands who were who had to. Oh yeah, oh my God, ridiculous. But you could tell the eyes were going that way.
They're doing the side eye the entire time. Like,
Yeah.
Is she okay?
Yeah. It's more about the people who have a problem with the way she dresses, because they can't do that.
You ever notice how rare it is when dudes criticize what other guys are wearing?
I don't know.
Because it's too revealing.
I criticize what dudes are wearing all day long.
Yeah, but I mean...
You're wearing that with those shoes?
Really?
Yeah.
You do that?
No, I don't do that.
See, that's what I'm talking about. You
I
don't do
care
that.
less.
Of course. I don't care.
It's funny, though. Do you worry about your own dress when you walk out the door? Because I walk out the door and go, oh, my God, I'm wearing the same shorts I wore 4 days ago.
I look at my shirt and say, are there any apparent stains on it? No? Well, this is the one I'm wearing today.
This is the good one.
Right.
Yeah.
If I got a big greasy spot on one shirt, I say, well, maybe I won't wear this one today.
But for the most part, nobody cares.
No one gives a damn.
Although, I made a video about that yesterday. I was confronted by the guy upstairs who told me I looked like I was going on a safari yesterday. Which is weird, because he looks like he's always up for some kind of, boot camp or something.
You were a little Steve Irwin yesterday.
Well, that's all right. But I have to change up my dress every once in a while. And the fact that I didn't have any other clean clothes, so I grabbed the stuff that was out of the closet. I was very mismatched.
It was fine. Listen, you were able to go out in public.
I even had 2 different colors. Nobody noticed the 2 different color socks on. The other day, I had an inside-out shirt on, and nobody noticed that. Because I think
Really?
The whole day I had an inside-out shirt on. I didn't notice that until I was in the bathroom, and I'm like, oh, the shirt's on inside out.
What great situational awareness. I'm sitting across from you for 4.5 hours every day. I don't even notice your shirt's inside out.
This is what I'm talking about. Nobody cares for the most part. Or at least maybe you all just assume that I'm like one of those divorced uncles who lives on a mattress in a storage unit. Oh, no, he's all right. That's just his life. That's the way he lives.
That's the best it gets.
Yeah. We can all agree it was stupid for HBO to change the name of HBO Max to just Max, right?
Right.
Well, Warner Brothers finally caught up because they just announced at a press event yesterday that they're going back to HBO Max. They actually trolled themselves with several memes featuring scenes from Friends, Game of Thrones, and Euphoria. As for programming announcements, Warner Brothers unveiled a new trailer for James Gunn's Superman movie. And the new Game of Thrones series, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, has been pushed back to 2026.
I never really understood why they changed it in the first place. Because everyone was still calling it HBO Max, even when I had Max.
Yeah, but then you always get those ones who are like, they automatically just switch the brand name and then don't pretend like they don't know what you're talking about. Hey, did you see that thing on HBO the other night? What are you talking about? I don't have it. There is no HBO anymore. I mean, I'm Max. Oh, Max. Why didn't you just say so?
It was that conversation never actually happened anywhere. And if it did, you'd be ashamed of yourself.
Kim Kardashian is in Paris this week to testify in court against those accused of the 2016 jewel heist that left her afraid for her life, but she was still able to make a flashy fashion statement while she stepped out wearing a cream dress completed with a collar and trim comprised of giant white feathers. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Cockadoodle my who.
She must have had something to say.
No,
cockadoodle who.
No, cockadoodle my who. All right,
let's
try this again.
Okay, all right.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Cockadoodle my who. Cockadoodle do my who.
Cockadoodle who my who.
No. You're saying it wrong.
What?
Cockadoodle do my who.
Cockadoodle do my who.
Let's try this again. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Cockadoodle do my who.
Cockadoodle do my who.
Oh, my God. That's the same thing I said to Ray J right before he went bag deep into my clam canyon and lit me up with trouser snots and that sex tape you can purchase on YouPorn for $39.95.
That was worth the wait.
It totally was.
Caitlin?
I never got that done and dirty with your mother, Chris Kim, but she once milked wiener gravy from the pork sword. She pulled the gentleman's hollandaise from the meat whistle.
What are you trying to say?
Well, I'm not trying to say whatever the hell you guys tried to say a couple of seconds ago. What I'm trying to say is she performed a ball-tickle beef tug on me till she got blasted by more shots than Al Pacino at the end of Scarface. Say hello to my little friend. Cockadoodle do my who. See, I said it with no problem.
You wrote it.
No, I didn't. And that's your Hollywood trash on Rock 102.
Leah Toy.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Folks, I'm not necessarily one of those weak-minded knuckleheads that thinks that all my looming intentions are floating around the universe and affecting the outcomes of postseason basketball games. I do, however, find that my recent predictions show a concerning lack of credibility. And as such, I should be doing what I should be doing is not telling you what I think is going to happen. What I should be telling you is the exact opposite of the things that I think are going to happen. For example, yesterday I offered a profound lack of confidence in the Boston Celtics following the season-ending injury to Jason Tatum the other night. I predicted that the Celtics, who were suddenly trailing the Knicks in the Eastern Conference semifinals, teetering on the edge of being eliminated from the playoffs, After all, they were down 3-1. Their best player blew out his Achilles. Why wouldn't I think that way? And yet last night, the Celtics pounded the Knicks in Game 5, 127-102. Derek White knocking down 34 points. Jaylen Brown at 26. A total ass whooping. And now it's forced the series to a Game 6, which will be tomorrow night at Madison Square Garden. Now, since my predictions for the last several games have been all wrong, I have decided to switch gears and make statements that reflect the exact opposite of everything I believe in. That way, the universe hears one thing without ever figuring out where I'm going with all this stuff. This is why I predict the Celtics will lose tomorrow night, even though I think there's a very good chance they won't. However, that's the part I'm keeping to myself. Again, I'm not one who believes in jinxes and curses, whammies, or any other kind of self-fulfilling prophecies. I'm simply a guy who, in a very small way, trying to outwit the universe with reverse psychology. Will it work? Absolutely not. Or will it? I guess we'll just have to wait until tomorrow night to know whether I'm onto something here or whether I'm just full of crap, and I can barely wait to find out which one. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. All the DeWalt 20-volt max power tools are got killer deals right now at Rocky's. $99 each with your Ace Rewards card. The DeWalt Impact Driver, Nailer, Grinder, the DeWalt batteries, chargers, job site speakers, and more. $99 at your neighborhood Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch. Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock at 6:13, and Van Halen with Bax and Nagle and Rock 102.
It is going to be wet for the next couple of days. Rain with a high of 73 today. Rain with a high of 79 tomorrow. Saturday, also looking like rain with a high of 73. It's 62 right now in downtown Springfield, but we need the rain.
Yeah, it's been dry as a bone lately, and you have to wonder how it's going to affect the crops and the animals.
Yeah, and
I don't have nearly the erosion this year that I was hoping for.
And well, you gotta get out there with the plow. You gotta do your due diligence.
I'm gonna have to do something to make that ground a little less safe.
So I mean, it is grilling season too, which can kind of be dampered by rain. And luckily, it wasn't raining yesterday.
Does your grill have a lid?
It does.
Well, then you're all good.
I know, but doesn't that mess with the temperature of, like, if you're smoking something?
Well, I mean, depending on the kind of grill you have, you can leave the grill slightly open.
Yeah.
Or well ventilated.
Yeah, I guess I could do that.
So there's no reason.
I'm not like I don't see myself as some sort of barbecue master, but I do every once in a while make something that's like, whew, that was good.
Do you have like one of them those novelty smocks that you wear when you grill?
No,
like Kiss the Cook
or King of the Grill.
Yeah, Grill Master.
No, I don't have that.
That's too bad.
But like last night, I my daughter had a softball game, so I wanted to slow cook something, so it'd be ready by the time I got home.
Sure.
I wound up having my other kid have to take it off the grill because it was gonna, the time was running a little late on the game. Anyway, I took bone-in chicken breasts that I had gotten on sale.
Okay.
Right? And you pat the water off them.
Of course.
Right? And then you cover them in olive oil.
Yeah.
And then sprinkle them with, I use this Zatarain's Cajun seasoning.
Sure.
This is what these are like partial skin on these things too. So it's not full skin, but it's partial skin on the breasts. Yeah.
Okay, so partially dressed.
Partially dressed, is that what they call it? Dressed?
That's what I call it.
Yeah, it's like a Nipplegate.
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
Anyway, so I put the Zatarain's Cajun spice stuff on it.
Yeah.
Set the pellet smoker for 250. Right?
Okay.
And then I put it on there, and it said about an hour and a half to 2 hours that it would be done. And I usually have the thermometer thing where I check the temperature of it.
Right.
But I was also not able to get home in time, so it was about an hour and 40 minutes where I told my kid, hey, go out to the grill, turn it off, and take the chicken off, and then just go put it in the oven. We'll be home in like 10 minutes, that kind of thing. So she did, and then she put it in a pan, just left it in the oven. No, you didn't turn the oven on.
Sure.
It was perfect. It came out absolutely perfect.
Not dry?
It was juicy. It was cooked. It was up to. I think it probably came off there at like 160, and then you let it sit, and then that's it kind of cooks that last 10, 15 minutes or whatever. Kind of sits there. It was probably the best chicken I've made so far, and the pellets I used, because you can use apple and hickory, or you can use all different kinds of flavors for the thing. This was just the Tractor Supply blend. It's like the cheapest bag they got. It's like $12 for this giant bag of it. And because I'm not spending $20-something on a bag of,
No, I get it. I mean, I've always felt, and I mean this in all sincerity, that when I think of delicious meals, I always think of Tractor Supply.
Well, that's where I bought the grill, and they have they have that grill supply. I mean, yes, they do have them at Rockies too. I'm not
saying a thing.
I just I couldn't go the Traeger route. They're kind of pricey.
But can you really afford to have a bad meal when you're grilling?
Here's what it is. Yes, if you're into the grilling and all that stuff, Rockies is an excellent place to get all that stuff.
Plus, you get good people, rock solid service at every Rockies Ace Parker location.
This is not about me betraying Rockies by any means. But that's the stuff for, like, professionals. Tractor Supply is for schlubs like me who I couldn't foresee spending $1,500 on a grill that I'm not going to. I don't use it that often. I told you I'm not a barbecue expert,
right?
So I got the Pit Boss for like $300.
Yeah, okay,
and it actually works pretty well. But it came out so freaking good, and I'm like, what else can I make on this thing? And I found this recipe: smoked bacon bombs.
And what's that?
Smoked bacon bomb. This smoked bacon bomb recipe is the bomb. Bacon wrapped sausage stuffed with cheese, onions, jalapenos, and more bacon is as artery clogging as it is delicious. Served on freshly baked biscuits.
Would it be wrong for me to announce right now that I am fully aroused by the thing you're talking about?
Fully aroused. I finished just reading that.
Wow, that sounds awesome.
It's called premature smoking. That's what happens. You get to it. You get 2 pounds of thick cut bacon, 3 pounds of barbecue seasoning, 2 pounds of bulk Italian sausage, 1 cup of finely shredded cheddar, and Monterey Jack cheese blend. I don't know if I'd go that. I'd probably go a Gouda.
I don't know. Gouda's delicious, but like a Monterey Jack is like a nice melting cheese. It melts nice.
All right, 1/4 cup of diced fresh jalapenos. Peppers, and 2 green onions, 4 cloves of garlic, and a bottle of barbecue sauce. And then they tell you to prepare the grill and all this other stuff. And it doesn't take that long. You place the sausage in a 1-gallon resealable bag, seal the bag most of the way, flatten the shape of the sausage into a large square, and then cut away and discard the bag. So you're making like a grid out of it.
Sure.
So you can make it in portion size thing. And you wrap the whole thing with bacon. You put the jalapenos and the cheese and the cheese in there.
Yeah.
And then you wrap bacon around it.
You like a cheesy jalapenos?
I love a cheesy jalapenos. Don't you?
It ain't easy being cheesy with the jalapenos.
And then you put them on a rack and you place them in the smoker. Smoke until no longer pink. All right. About 2 hours, and you baste it with the remaining cup of barbecue sauce. This is something I'm definitely going to try.
You got sometimes you see things on the TikToks, like a recipe that looks so damn good. That would be like one of those things you'd see, and you say, "I got to try that." Yeah, like yesterday, I'm on the TikToks, and the vulgar chef does something. I thought I have got to try this. He takes like a bunch of hot dogs, right?
Yeah,
and he puts it in a blender. And then he also puts it in with some Kraft macaroni and cheese, and he makes himself his own loaf. And then he winds up I don't know if he cooks it or whatever he does, but it winds up being like a deli meat,
like an olive loaf type of thing.
Yeah, you could say that. And I thought,
and what is he? Does it cool off and then he hardens and then he slices it?
And he made it into a sandwich.
You know what? I got a meat slicer. We could do wonders together.
Who doesn't love hot dogs and macaroni and cheese?
It's got to be good hot dogs and better mac and cheese, though.
Sure. Well, I don't know what hot dogs he used. I don't think he was using like Ballpark. I mean, if he's using like a Nathan's or something like that,
Nathan's
or
are good.
Hebrew National.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be good.
Well, I mean, not to knock the Dietz and Watsons, but I like a beefier dog, like a saltier beef dog.
You like a salty dog?
Yeah. Don't you like a salty dog?
I bet a salty dog would taste delicious with your cheesy jalapenos.
Who doesn't like a salty dog with a cheesy jalapenos? I love a cheesy dog with a.
Let me grab my plate.
Yeah, let's go. But I think now I'm getting addicted to this thing. The more and more I use this thing, I only used it a few times last year. Now I'm starting to up the ante on it.
In all fairness, you did mention about the Traeger.
Yeah.
About its assumed cost. Well, right now you can get a Traeger Woodbridge at Rockies for just $700.
Right, but again, it's like starting. I
don't want anyone to walk in the Rockies and say, "Well, I'm not spending $1,500 on a grill." You don't have to.
No, but it's just like a guy riding a motorcycle. If you really want to ride a motorcycle, you're not going to go out and buy a $25,000 Harley Davidson to start with. You go and you buy a Honda to get used to it, and they say once you get addicted to it, then you want to get out on the Harley and get that vibrating hog between your legs.
And eventually you're going to want to just upgrade. So why not just go right for the Cadillac grills right away?
Because if you take a crapper on the Honda, then you know that you're either made for this motorcycle riding thing or you're not. That's what I'm saying. If I screw up this pellet smoker thing, now I know. I didn't do so well on the what did I call it? I don't even know the name of the damn pellet smoker now.
What do you say? The Grill Master?
Something. Yeah, the Grill Master 5000.
The Grill Master 5000. Yeah. I just don't want anybody to be misled into believing that you got to spend $1,500 to get a good Traeger. You don't. You can get it for half that amount, and it's fully digital.
Just again, think about it as I have the bike with the training wheels on it. Okay,
it's fine, Steve. I'm not critical. I'm not critical of you. I'm just saying I want to make sure that we're not feeding anyone false information. That's all.
I'm not feeding anybody false information. I'm simply stating that I'm an idiot and I need to try something out before I go take the full dive.
I gotcha. You want to dip your toe into the water to see how cold it is.
That's right.
All right. Well, let's say, listen, that's fine. But when you decide I'm going to upgrade to a Traeger for $700 at Rocky's Ace Hardware, I got a guy you can speak to. Do
you want to come over this weekend for some bacon bombs?
I am not going to be around the area this weekend. I got lots to do.
All right,
too busy. But thank you very much for the offer.
I will not bring one in for you.
It's 6:25 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. 28 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Dan Brown has the full monsoon forecast for you.
I'm going to do a joke here in just a second, but just want to let everybody know that today happens to be the ribbon cutting ceremony for the Andy E. Palliative Care Unit at Mercy Medical Center. They're doing that this afternoon, and it's awesome. This has been a project that's taken 3 years to start and complete, and now they're finally ready to open it. So that's happening later this afternoon. So I'll be there wishing everybody well.
Very cool.
Yeah, really, really cool. Andy was a friend of ours, and of course, he died just a number of years ago. It's a great way to honor his memory. And having said that, now it's time for a joke.
Let's laugh. No, actually, you know what? Andy Yee, always full of smiles and jokes, and
he had one of the best senses of humor ever.
He would say some things that I would never even say to people.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yes.
He knew what was going on, so he would appreciate. Well, he probably wouldn't appreciate these jokes because they suck. He probably could write a hell of a lot better ones.
These would never make the Hukilau stage.
But you know what? That is something, that care center. We can talk more about this later, but that care center is something that they desperately needed down there.
Yeah,
honestly, because I've talked about my experience and my late wife and how after they realize that you're not going to make it, most people get sent up to a different location of the hospital that's not in a comfortable place. This is the comfortable place that people were hoping to get. So
Well, a lot of people worked very hard to make this happen, and today it's finally got to be the ribbon-cutting ceremony. So,
all right, now let's laugh.
Yes.
All right.
It's Bax and Nagle's Joke of the Day
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you.
on Rock 102,
I make you laugh.
Springfield's classic rock.
You ever had this woman at the airport yesterday fainted, fell into the baggage carousel?
really?
She's slowly coming around. You get it? Because she's on the
Yes.
belt and she's moving and all that good stuff.
Oh, Andy would have loved that.
There you go. No, he wouldn't.
Bax and Nagle in the morning on Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
Here's your Western Mass News First Alert for
6:34 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by the law offices of Marquis Salamone. Injured? Tell the insurance company you mean business. Call 1-800-WIN-WIN-1 right now. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Max. Crews are working to put out a fire at 37 George Street in Springfield this morning. Heavy smoke and flames could be seen coming from the top of the home. Springfield Fire Captain Droopy Monty said that 2 people are without a home due to the fire and were safely evacuated with no injuries. The American Red Cross is helping them find a place to stay. Droopy says that the crews arrived around 3:15 a.m. The Agawam and East Longmeadow fire departments are helping to put out the fire as well.
Oh, no. A house fire.
There's no word on the cause of the fire at this time, and 22 News says they'll bring you updates as more information becomes available, but maybe 3 weeks from now.
Well, what is today? Thursday?
Yeah,
I think the earliest you're going to hear anything is next Wednesday.
yeah. Well, they got Julia O'Keefe out there again. At least it's not raining. At least there's something going on. There's not a closed Smithland pet store at 5:40 in the morning.
Which is like still 5 hours away from an opening.
Yeah, some people have that idea that putting people in a news situation where there's no news going on.
Does that make it more newsy to
What?
put a young reporter outside before something opens for like hours?
Yeah.
Does that really reflect the story in a way that nobody could possibly understand without that visual? Couldn't she have just been like in the newsroom, sitting at a desk, pretty much telling you the same damn thing, or on the news set, perhaps?
The funny thing is, we were talking about Nicole Nalepa the other day.
Yes.
I remember Nicole Nalepa when she was first working at 22 News. She would sit at this desk. It was like the remote desk, and then she would just show graphic images of or graphics of what was going on versus actually going out and being there. That would be the easiest thing to do.
It's better than saying, thanks, Rich. I'm out here in the dark, miles away from people and society.
Yeah.
Here's the story. And it's like, well, what are you even out there for?
I don't know.
I'm here in a dimly lit area, alone and far away from actual people, and if there was an emergency, I would be stranded here for hours. This afternoon, a fire happened in this neighborhood. It's like, that's, what are you doing?
I remember seeing them like the reporter years ago, like on the Rotary in West Springfield, I guess the North End Bridge Rotary. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning. It's pitch black outside, dead of winter, and you're standing in the middle of the Rotary doing a live shot. There's not even any traffic going through there. I don't even know what the story was about, but it didn't seem like it required somebody to be out there. I know it's the illusion.
I'm going to guess it was a story about West Springfield.
Probably was. Probably about Mayor, hey, when City Hall opens at 6 hours from now, we'll have a story about what happened there. There was a confirmed hostage. What?
We're here live in the midst of a lot of inactivity to bring you late-breaking stories.
And you know what? By the time the late-breaking story happens, we'll be home in bed.
But they'll have them out there with nobody around there for a story that happened like 7 hours ago.
Yeah.
As if somehow them being in an open field with no lighting or electricity somehow gives you a better insight into the story.
Listen, there's nothing going on now, but you should have been here last night. This place was booming. Gunshots were being fired. Stabbings were being reported. It was a party boom body going on over here. There was a confirmed hostage situation in Holyoke Wednesday evening. According to authorities, That situation was resolved as of 10 p.m., and there is no threat to the public. 22 News received calls of an incident in the city a little before 10 p.m. Holyoke Police Chief Brian Keenan said that the suspect barricaded himself and eventually surrendered without incident. The suspect is now in custody, and they will be in district court today. The 22 News crews could see police present at the scene just after 10:30 p.m. There's a fire truck and a police car and that yellow tape that says "Do not cross." That's official police tape. I wonder if the news crew has that to set up a scene.
The caution tape.
Yeah, you go in the back of the survival kit of the 22 News reporter. They have that. Most people have duct tape. Do they have the police crossing tape so they can set up a scene?
I'm sure they have their props because you got to be able to get the right camera angle, even if there is no police tape.
Yeah,
present. All you got to do is take some out of the trunk of the 22 News vehicle.
Right.
Then you get some B-roll.
You get B-roll. You'd be lucky to get the A-roll. You ain't getting
none
of it. A Holyoke bar owner has been charged with illegal gaming, managing a betting enterprise, and possession of fentanyl, according to court records. Sean Rohan, who, according to state police, is the owner of Griffin's Cafe on Hamdon Street.
Hamdon Street?
That's the way they spelled it in the picture. Hampdon. I believe it's Hamden.
I believe you're right.
It was arraigned in Chicopee District Court on May 5th. He was released on personal recognizance in order to undergo random drug testing. A statement of facts filed by a trooper in search of an arrest warrant for Rohan says he ran a ring of illegal betting machines that were placed in bodegas and mini-marts throughout downtown Holyoke. Among the sites where police seized the machines were La Favorita Mini Mart and Juan Deli Mini Mart and Appleton Market. During an interview subsequent to his arrest, Rohan made admissions to acquiring, installing, and maintaining the illegal gaming machines seized from the above-mentioned locations. The statement does not specify the number of machines police seized. While under law enforcement surveillance, Rohan and his agents were allegedly spotted picking up machines and collecting money throughout the city. The illegal betting machines were all once the rage for the local organized crime figures and were sometimes referred to as joker poker machines. In the early 2000s, a unit of the Mass State Police focused on the mafia seized dozens of machines throughout the region and charged business owners with felony crimes. In this instance, Sean P. Allen, a lawyer for Rohan, says he expects more indictments. I think this investigation will extend farther than Western Massachusetts. State Police said that before the raids, an undercover trooper went into Griffin's place, placed a $20 bet, and received a payout. They don't say how much the payout was, though.
Did he make his money back? Was he in the hole?
That's what I
was
want to know. Employees at Griffin's Cafe confirmed the process. Further investigators were able to speak to the bartender working at Griffin's Cafe, and he indicated that Sean Rohan runs the bar and the gaming machines, and further indicated that the money is paid out to individuals who win a bet on the gaming machines from the register and other places that cash is stored behind the bar. Can you imagine being that bartender? You're thinking you're like, oh yeah, Dean, not Dean, I shouldn't say Dean.
Yeah,
that was wrong guy.
Wrong guy.
The other Rohan.
Right.
Dean is the up and up guy.
He's right.
Yeah.
He's the one who's legitimate.
Yeah, it's this guy who's a little shady. But anyway, be like, oh yeah, he's the bar owner and he runs this whole place, and he pays out people who win on those machines. And then you flap your mouth all morning long.
I know.
And then all of a sudden you're being called to testify because that was an undercover cop.
I got to tell you, the more and more I hear, the more I read, the more podcasts I listen to, I'm starting to feel really bad for these mob guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they had it going on so well back in like the 60s and 70s. And now, I mean, illegal gambling. Now gambling's legal. Now it's out of their hands now. I mean, who's going to a guy in a tracksuit anymore because they want to put money down on a football game? No one's doing that anymore.
I always remember that scene from The Sopranos, and I don't know, I think it was Patsy Parisi.
Sure.
They went into like a Starbucks coffee shop type place, and they're like trying to shake them down for money.
Mm-hmm.
And then the manager's like, well, if you chase us out of here, there's just going to be some other goon in here next week, taking over the job. This is the corporate world. And then the two guys, they walk out of the store and they're complaining about how the little guy's getting screwed now.
I'm telling you, this is exactly what I'm talking about.
I can't believe these corporate people screwing the little guy.
Yeah, now you're talking about video poker games. Now nobody wants to have a video poker game in their place.
That's right. A bear.
Man, I feel bad for you mob guys.
A bear was caught on camera.
They're really suffering.
There's a job that's gone by the way of the dinosaur.
What did you used to do? I used to be a capo in a local mob. Now I'm just a Walmart greeter.
Had all these gambling machines going on. Those were the days.
Oh, I miss the days when the money was rolling in.
A bear was caught on camera wandering around the streets of Holyoke Wednesday morning. Well, one of his dens is a pothole.
That's where he sleeps to be safely.
22 News viewer Julio Rodriguez spotted a bear walking around High Street in Holyoke around 6 a.m. on Wednesday. The bear could be seen crossing the street and then walking along the sidewalk before being spotted by Rodriguez. And then 22 goes into the whole explanation of what bears are and how many of them are in the state.
My God.
But they don't say that maybe he was going to that one new White Hut location. I mean, those burgers and dogs are delicious up there.
Or maybe he's going to the mall.
Maybe he needed a recliner at Eddie's Furniture. There's all different reasons why a bear would be walking the streets of Holyoke.
I mean, he's just an innocent bear doing bear stuff in the city.
Yeah, can't a bear walk down the street without being harassed and having a picture taken? You're the paparazzi.
Maybe the bear wants to go into the Volleyball Hall of Fame or go on the carousel.
The carousel would be the thing. Do you know how fast that thing is?
It's like 79 miles an hour.
It's ridiculously fast.
Yes, it is.
I remember taking my kids on field trips when they were in kindergarten to the Holyoke Children's Museum, and then they took us to the carousel. That thing goes.
It books. That's why bears don't normally get on there until the thing is at a full stop.
You think they wait until everybody goes home and then get on? Do they get special bear rides later in the day?
Yeah, I think it's probably bear hours.
I mean, but again, leave the bear alone. The bear's just doing his bear's thing.
It's not like the bear's holding up liquor stores. It's not like the bear is, doing like a dine and dash somewhere.
And the bear's yelling back, "Yeah, you know what? I poop in the woods, not in the stairwell of that parking garage like you humans do."
Get the bear at the Barnes and Noble just trying to read some books.
Yeah, I'm at Holyoke Crossing here. I'm going to Red Robin with my cubs next door right after this. Hey, when did Christmas tree shops leave?
Bear shows up there with a bunch of Bed Bath & Beyond coupons only to find out he's out of luck.
Hey, I just got these in the Val Pack coupon. Granted, I haven't picked up my mail in a while, but I just picked them up, and Bed Bath & Beyond is closed. I had $5 off $25. Your Pioneer Valley forecast today, going to be rainy with a high of 73. Tomorrow, more of the same with a high of 79. It's 63 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah.
81 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
I just gave you the forecast. It's going to rain.
All right, a couple of things here. First of all, I just want to let everybody know this week's guest on Baxy's musical podcast, Barry Andrews from the band Shriekback. Their 18th album, Monument, is out. It's an amazing story. Barry's played with Iggy Pop and Brian Eno and Robert Fripp, who is an original member of the band XTC. Really cool interview. On Monday, I'm going to be talking to Steve Barton from the band Translator. You may remember them from their 1982 hit, Everywhere That I'm Not, big new wave hit from back then. Anyway, the band is about to release a recording of their final show together in 1986 called Beyond Today, live at the Farm in San Francisco on Liberation Hall Records. He's about to release his 9th solo record. The story behind Steve Barton is absolutely bananas, and it's a great interview that'll be available on Monday on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, the Rock 102 YouTube channel, rock102.com, and on the app. It's all brought to you by Metro, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram at Chicopee and Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock.
Very cool.
Okay? Now, Item number 2.
Yeah.
We're going to walk into the mailroom and open up the old mailbag.
That's from the old mailbag. Letters. Oh, we get letters. We get your letters every day. Mailman, mailman, mail today. Oh, letters. Oh, we get letters. Oh, boy. Ding dong.
Mail today.
You should really find out what that lyric says. I don't know.
It would require me to sit down with like some paper, or a pencil. I don't know.
Now.
Anyway, I got this email yesterday, and it goes, hello. I'm a few days behind listening to the podcast, so my email is probably moot at this point. As an aside, I would like to say, ma'am, this email could not be less moot. In fact, it is very appropriate at this given time.
Okay.
She says, and I quote, I confirmed with a friend that worked for Anthony Gallooni that he goes by the name Tony. Thank you for your time. Signed, Lorraine.
That's it?
That's it. Seems to me that calling him Tony in a CVS in East Long Meadow on a Saturday maybe not the craziest thing in the world.
Okay, all right. But you had no permission to do that. You didn't. It's not like he said, you know what, you can call me Tony. You just said it like it was no big deal. It was again, I thought maybe I may have overstepped my bounds, but he is not the kind of guy that does not also go by the name of Tony. So it would not have been out of line for me to call him Tony. Now, if I had gone to Sheriff Michael Ash and called him Mick. Or Mikey.
Hey, Mikey! If I had gone to him, he would have probably beaten me with a cane or a walker. And you know what? I would have probably deserved it. But I didn't do that to Sheriff Michael Ash. I did this to Hendon County District Attorney Anthony Gallooni by calling him Tony, which, in a broader scheme of things, would have been an appropriate way to address him.
You got lucky, if I could quote the great Tom Petty. You got lucky, because what if it wasn't, and you just said it?
Yeah. Well, I think then if I were ever convicted of a felony, then I would have to seriously think about maybe writing a formal apology. But in this case, I don't know if I need to.
Yeah, you got lucky. And if he wasn't called Tony, or if you weren't allowed to call him Tony, you would have been hearing about it. Now, you could have upped the ante and said, you know why they call Italians Tony? Because they stamped 2 New York on them when they were shipping them over here.
See, now that's the kind of insensitive joke that I would never have said to my good dear friend Tony Gallooni.
Well, I just want to see how good friends you are with the guy. If you could make a joke like that and he'd laugh at it.
Well, I'm not the one who made that joke. That would have been you. I think that might be somewhat insulting to a guy like Hampden County District Attorney Tony Gallooni.
You're lucky Harvey Dent didn't throw acid in your face. He's our Harvey Dent.
I don't.
And you know what?
I don't know.
A reverse acid throw in the face would have been appropriate for you for that particular incident at the CVS. Which CVS was it, by the way?
Main Street, East Long Meadow.
Main Street. Ooh, oh, right
here.
Right
up here in the
corner.
Right at the corner. That's what I was doing.
Yeah. Okay. Was he picking up a prescription?
No, we were at the card aisle.
Oh, because I was waiting for somebody to call out his name. Prescription for Tony.
I see. I wouldn't have done that, and I wouldn't even have asked. Oh, what you get?
Yeah. What do you got?
Yeah. What's your
ailment?
What condition do you have?
High cholesterol. What else?
What kind of
uromyositis?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, a urinary tract infection.
Ooh,
well, that must be very uncomfortable.
Well,
how can you concentrate at work?
And then you start going into did I tell you about this AFib thing I had, and I had to go for surgery for it and everything? It's crazy.
Why don't we sit down on the chairs right next to the pharmacy and talk about our colonoscopies?
But I also think that he's one of those guys that's too polite to tell you that he doesn't want to talk to you. Like
Perhaps.
yeah,
Perhaps.
Like he's probably. I'm like, oh my god, Bax. I run into Bax. Why couldn't I run into Nagle over the weekend?
I'm in such a spot.
I got to start.
I want to get out of this
Walgreens.
conversation, but yet I really need to go buy a card.
I gotta hang out. You should have started asking him questions like, now, if a defendant is arrested, can he use CVS extra bucks to get himself out of jail? Now, there's enough receipt tape in here to detain a suspect.
Sure,
if
you
you
gotta
wrap it around
them,
the
zip
thing. They
ties,
can't get out of that. That's stronger than duct tape.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I just wanted to share that email with you to show you.
Well-
It's like not the full closure on this, but at least we're one step further towards it.
Now,
It's 6:57 at Rock 102.
More paint, Cabot stains, plus rock-solid painting advice and expertise.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Folks, it is official. The 2025 New England Patriots schedule has officially been released. And while I hate to make predictions, everything on this schedule suggests the Patriots have just been given the third easiest schedule in the NFL. Add that to a solid draft, intelligent free agent pickups, and a coaching staff that appears to have lit a fire under the asses of everybody in the entire six-state New England region. And I'd say that it appears to be something known as optimism creeping into this place. Let's take a look at what we're facing. The Celtics begin their season on September 7th with a tune-up at home against the Tom Brady co-owned Las Vegas Raiders. And that team sucks. From there, the Patriots will face Miami, Pittsburgh, Carolina, Buffalo, New Orleans, Tennessee, Cleveland, Atlanta, Tampa Bay, the Jets, Cincinnati, and the Giants. Followed by the bye week in Week 14, you got Buffalo, Baltimore, the Jets, and Miami. 3 games in prime time. Buffalo on Sunday on NBC, the Jets on a Thursday night on Prime, and the Giants game on Monday Night Football. And as far as where they're going to play, it looks like this. They start at home, then away. Home, home, away, 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 home, home, away, again, home, then home, away, and home. And then the bye week followed by a game at home, 2 more games on the road, closed out by a regular season game at home. You see what I mean? It's an easy schedule, and while the rest of football may look like the Patriots as a team that sucks considering what they've done over the last 5 seasons, I say there's a lot of stuff to be excited about. Will they go 17-0? Probably not. But they're probably going to do a whole lot better than when they wind up last year winning only 4 games. No, sir, I'm predicting as many as 5 or 6 wins this season, possibly even more. And if that doesn't get you all juiced up about this upcoming season, then I don't know what the hell will. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. You know, why don't your deck look back like back in, say, like 1910? Maybe had a coat of Cabot stain. Cabot Premium Wood Stain has been around for 140 years. That's a long time. So if you're looking for stains, go to Rocky's. $10 a gallon on Cabot stains right now with your Rocky's Ace Rewards card. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch. Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 7:12, and yes, with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
hang on, it's brewing. That sounds sick.
It sounds like a creaking floor, doesn't it?
Yeah. No, people are like, hey, your mic was on. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, we
did
know.
it on purpose because anything is more interesting than Scott Cohen's wrong sports report.
All right, you know, I'm not going to sit here and listen to that.
I know. I wasn't going to sit here and listen to it either. That's why I was making coffee. I'm grinding beans.
Oh,
I'm
you're doing the whole thing.
I'm Barista Steve over here. This is how we do things here at Rock 102. Your Pioneer Valley forecast today going to be rainy with a high of 73. It's 63 right now in downtown Springfield. How about what's your favorite topic? Ready?
Okay.
You wanna do that?
Sure.
What's something you tried once and knew it wasn't for you? There's a famous quote that says the hallmark of successful people is that they're always stretching themselves to learn new things, but do you have to keep doing those things?
There are certain things that I have tried that I said within seconds, I'm never, ever going to agree to do this again.
Yeah.
Like skiing would be one of those
Yeah,
things. I will never, ever do that again.
Skiing. Someone asked on social media, what's something you tried once and immediately knew it wasn't for you? The most popular answers include gambling. Went to a casino with friends for a weekend, lost several $100s in about an hour and a half, and never placed another bet again.
Right.
I could see how people would be turned off by that.
I can see that.
But it's the one. The casinos bet on that. No pun intended.
Yeah, well,
they know
that's why they got other things to do in a casino.
But there's enough people out there that they give just enough to keep wanting to come back for more.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, listen, I could take gambling or leave it, but there are certain things that they're simply not for me.
I'm sorry. I'm just taking care of some personal business here.
Good. Well, then do it during the show when you're at your least busy.
People who you know closely within my little realm of circle doesn't seem to really understand that this is a business and
there's a radio show going on.
Yes, and I'm just taking care of crises, mini crises, but we're all good now.
Okay, good.
We're good.
Well,
We're
terrific.
Good. All right, see?
Terrific.
Sometimes it happens.
Well, have you ever done anything that you knew immediately this was not for you?
Yeah, like everything.
Yeah, no, I get that.
There's a lot. I don't even know. Trying to build something. I can't. I don't have that kind of brain, and I don't know if I don't have the brain, or I just don't have the patience. Some of these guys that like build things. I got a friend who's he's really good at like doing stuff. Like if you we need a customized piece for this, whatever, like a hatchway door or something. This guy will go into the garage, and within 10 minutes, he's got a whole schematic and all this stuff that he needs to do. I don't have that. I don't have that in me. I'm very bad with measurements. I'm very bad with. This is not my forte.
I am surrounded by very, very capable men.
Yeah.
In my life, like my dad, could do all kinds of things.
Yeah.
He could build anything, could fix anything, knew exactly what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law, both my sister's husband and my wife's brother.
Yeah.
Same thing. Could build anything, do anything. My father-in-law, same exact thing.
It's also. Yeah.
I got all of that, all of those skills from my mother's side of the family.
Yes, exactly. Well, like I said to my brother at his wedding during the best man speech, which didn't really please my sister too well.
No,
I said, he's taught me a lot. He knows how to build like stairs. He built stairs at my house. I don't know how to build stairs, and they were level and they were like even.
You know how to fall down a set of stairs.
And I said, all I know how to do is feed him 1,000 different euphemisms for vagina. Squish mitten is my favorite.
That was your speech?
And then my sister goes, oh, for God's sakes.
Did anybody expect anything less from you?
No, but I thought, it's true, and it's also funny.
It is funny.
Yeah.
It is.
What's your favorite vagina euphemism?
You could go forever for that one.
Somebody else said running. If you ever see me running, then you should too. Being a morning person. I can wake up early if I have to, but I'll never be happy about it.
See, I used to be a night guy.
Yeah.
I used to be like up at like 4 o'clock in the morning is when I finally start turning in.
Well,
now it's like
most nights, if I don't have anything going on, I'm in bed by like 7:15, 7:30.
I'm kind of the same way.
Yeah. Scuba diving, didn't make it past training in the pool. I don't think I'll ever try that.
I've done the snorkeling thing. Snorkeling. I've done. That's
right.
Okay. Scuba diving, not really.
Hot yoga. And somebody points at so many people passing gas, like the humidity gas, in a room where you're sweating your ass off for an hour.
Yeah, but it's not. But it's not just you. It's everybody doing it. So
Yeah,
it's
but
like it neutralizes itself out.
How is that peaceful?
You're basically resetting your chakras when you're doing it.
I just went to hot yoga. What about somebody who doesn't shower before they go to hot yoga?
I went to fart yoga. That's what I did.
That's what I'm saying.
And I got very hot.
Virtual reality made me dizzy and gave me a splitting headache. That was the one thing I never tried when Six Flags had it. They had the Superman ride, and you would put these glasses on.
Right.
It's like a virtual. Are we good? Are we
Yeah,
on the
I think we're okay.
We're having that on-air, off-air light blinking, but I think it's the other.
I think
radio.
it's them.
Yeah.
And I can't. Yeah, I'm in the middle of other things.
Yes, we're in the middle of a deep conversation.
This is a very important conversation.
Yeah, they had the virtual reality glasses, and you would put these glasses on.
Yeah.
and then ride the Superman ride. And it had different scenarios in it. So it would go along with the ride, but it would be a completely different vision of what you would get when you were just riding the ride by itself.
Sure.
They stopped it because too many people were throwing up.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And then you just had to enjoy the normal ride.
Right, but I still would have liked to try it.
Yeah, me too. I would have liked that.
Going to a strip club. It was so boring, I just felt bad for the dancers. Well, you don't know the right words to say to those gals. Sometimes they're really into you.
Yeah. Oh, sure they are. Yeah.
But again, that's just like the gambling thing. Some people aren't going to be happy with it, but I knew a guy who was like convinced that this dancer was like in love with him. And he would go back. He's like, yeah, she's busy with her kids and stuff. She can't see me outside of work, so I just have to go in there when she's working.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Really?
Because she's taking your money.
And you might be slightly delusional or naive.
That's right. Dating someone with opposing political beliefs. Nothing wrong with the person. It's just unnecessary conflict when they're ideologically incompatible. Yeah, because you want to be with somebody who you're not arguing with all the time.
But you can also be in, believe it or not, this is going to seem crazy, but you can actually be in a relationship and respect the fact that someone has different ideas with you without holding it against them. That is possible to do.
It is possible.
That's the way they used to do it many years ago.
But usually people look for somebody who at least shares a common thread of views.
Well, if you
them.
have other common views and other common threads, you can maybe bypass having political discussions in the house.
Two extremists,
Yeah, now you're asking for trouble.
You're not going to see some far left liberal and a far right conservative getting along together.
I mean, my wife and I don't share, 100% political ideas, but that doesn't mean that we're, all that far off. We just choose to not get involved in deep discussions about it.
Well, ignorance is bliss. I mean, if you don't talk about anything, you don't have to worry about it.
That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
If you bury your head in the sand, you don't know what's around you.
Giving birth. I did it twice. The blame plays the candy corn trick on you, making you forget how bad delivering a baby is until you do it again. I would never want to go through that. I don't have
childbirth? Well, you don't have to.
Well, I know I don't have to, but man, just watching that whole thing made me tired. Twice.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
And strangely enough, the focus wasn't on you that day. So you got no sympathy from anybody, but it was quite an ordeal for you too.
Well, the first time I was like, it's like a freshman going to college. You're like, oh my God, I'm so scared.
Yeah.
I don't even know anybody here. The second time it was like smooth sailing. I'm like chatting it up with the hospital staff. And,
Yeah. By the third time you're on your phone. Listen, I'll be with you in a minute. I gotta answer these phone calls. Answer these phone calls.
Let me know on that last push so I can get a selfie. There are people that do that too.
Oh, I know.
Doing the whole like selfie stick.
Yeah,
when their wife's in stirrups.
Show me a woman that doesn't like taking a picture at that moment. It's a beautiful moment in life.
Skiing. I
did it.
I never tried it, and I'll never try it.
I did it once, and I did it at in the Blue Mountains. I don't know if you've ever been to the Blue Mountains, but it is not what is known as a challenging set of slopes. I never got off the bunny hill until the only way I could stop was by hitting the elderly at the bottom of the hill.
I'm not for it. Hot tubs. It feels like a gigantic soup pot for humans. We've talked about this at length before.
You jump in there like it's a human tea bag.
I'll use my own hot tub because I know how clean it is. I can't go use like hot tubs at like hotels and resorts.
Now that you've used them.
Yeah, and I don't know how different. It's no different than going in the pool, or maybe it's just because of the hotness of it.
I don't know.
The bubbly water. Drinking a Bloody Mary. It tasted like a spicy, disgusting, fluid lasagna. I don't know.
No,
I usually like those.
I love them.
You have to like tomato juice if in order.
Unless there's like a lot of snacks inside of it, like not just the celery stick, but like shrimp and bacon and stuff like that. It's a meal. It's a drink and a meal. You're doing it right.
Somebody said helping the Prince of Nigeria. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times.
I never saw that $2 million check I was supposed to hold.
And a three-way. Someone joked if I wanted to disappoint two people at once, I would just call my parents.
What's the old Rodney Dangerfield joke? I got to go to bed with two women. That way, when I fall asleep, they got someone to talk to.
Yeah, exactly. And then the NC-17 version, having backdoor fun. Someone says it doesn't feel very good.
No, I'm going to take your word for it.
Well, I'm like the kind of guy like, listen, I'm not going to do anything to you that I'm not going to let you do that I wouldn't let you do to me.
Right.
So let's just keep it that way. I'm
It's
glad we ended it on that.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
It's 7:25 on Rock 102. It's 7:27 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Somebody said they are glad that the sloppy nuts impression is transcending into aqua pump commercials now. We do what we can around here. That's what we do.
Hey, Steve is throwing a big party, and you are all invited Saturday, June 21st at Vanish Valley Brewing in Ludlow to celebrate the start of summer and to raise money for Rick's Place. Rick's Place provides support to grieving children, teens, and their families after the loss of a loved one, and we want to help them out, and you can help too. We live music, loads of activities, keep the kids entertained, prizes up for grabs, food, beverages from Vanish Valley, the Matt Eats food truck, and the Malicious ice cream truck will be there as well. You can get your tickets at rock102.com by just $10.21, plus a small, insignificant ticketing fee with every damn penny being raised to go directly to Rick's Place. It's Steve Nagle's summer kickoff party, June 21st, noon to 3, Vanish Valley Brewing in Ludlow, brought to you by Dave Miner Exterior Home Improvements, Aqua Pump, Aura Credit Union, and Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock.
It's going to be a pretty good event.
That's a good time.
There's lots of raffle prizes being donated. There's the sponsors are coming through for us. And, of course, we just need the people to come out and buy a ticket. $10.21 with a little fee attached to it.
You kind of had me at Malicious ice cream truck.
Yeah.
That's all I really need.
There's no getting around the fee thing. There's all these ticketing, we don't have like a ticketing agent. We have to use a ticketing agent.
Yeah, so that's where the fee goes.
Yeah, there's always somebody who wants a little piece of the pie, but the rest of the money goes directly to Rick's Place. We don't make any money off this or anything like that.
Right, so that's really what this is all about. It's to help a great organization, and we'd love to have you join them.
Yeah,
rock102.com. Get all the information there.
All right, we got. Somebody was caught masturbating in a shed. We got news next at Rock 102.
Here's your Western Mass News.
7:33 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news, and here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. There are crews were working to put out a fire at 37 George Street in Springfield this morning. Heavy smoke and flames could be seen coming from the top of the home. Springfield Fire Captain Droopy Monty said that 2 people are without a home due to the fire and were safely evacuated with no injuries.
Oh no, it's a burning building.
The American Red Cross is helping them find a place to stay. Piemonte says the crews arrived around 3:15 a.m. and the Agawam and East Longmeadow fire departments are helping put out the fire. I don't know if it's still going on. I'm sure they're probably still looking for hot spots.
I'm sure it's under control.
Yeah. Well, you see the video with the smoke coming out still. That means they're still putting out the embers. A man from Ware was arrested on Wednesday for alleged animal abuse and assaulting someone in his home. The Ware police states that 22-year-old Jose Lopez Jr. had a warrant out for his arrest after an investigation. No word on the specific charges. However, police say the animals in question are safe and are no longer in his possession. Wasn't there a guy accused of abusing a dog in Ware? It's a different guy.
Maybe
assaulting a dog.
There's enough of dog assault stories out there.
Yeah,
but Ware does seem to be the kind of place that dog abusers tend to gravitate towards.
Yeah,
I don't know why. No, Ware is no different than any other town.
Well, there must be something in the air in there, up in Ware.
There's a lot up in the air in Ware, but yeah, you wonder why so many problems in one little town.
The Southampton Police Department is warning residents of car break-ins that took place overnight through town. The break-ins took place in the area of Bissonnet Circle, White Loaf Road, and Pequot Road. Ooh, White Loaf Road.
I just watched that show, White Loafus.
No, I thought it was like a deli meat. White Loaf.
Oh, I don't
know
about that.
Between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m., every one of the vehicles that was broken into was left unlocked. Well, then technically they weren't broken into. They were just opened.
Technically, the cars were inviting people to jump right in.
If anyone has any information or camera footage, you're urged to call the Southampton Police Department or email Officer Angers at dangers@southamptonpolice.com.
Hello, is this Officer Angers?
What do you want
now?
Did you say somebody broke into some cars? Yes, of course. Did you not read the report?
What's your problem now?
When I was a kid, I used to laugh my ass off. It was obviously a fake radio bit, but it was the Z100 Z Morning Zoo with Scott Shannon and Ross Britton.
Yeah.
And they used to do this character called Mr. Stress. And Mr. Stress was like, he had all these things that you wouldn't want him doing, and he was like an air traffic controller. It reminds me exactly of this thing, but this guy's real.
Great radio bits from the past.
I don't know how angry he really is, though.
But I'm pretty sure it's a bit.
Residents should also bring any valuables, including bikes, keys, and tools, into a locked shed, garage, or inside their home and secure and hide all valuables, including phones, wallets, keys, jewelry, and money. Otherwise, you're going to hear about it. You left your door unlocked? What is wrong with you?
We're going to send our hostage negotiator, Officer Angers, to handle this situation.
Yeah, but
you're going to come off that roof right now, or I'm going to stick my thumbs in your eye sockets, and I can do it.
Yeah, it's like that Will Ferrell skit with the, hey, bud, could you get off the shed? And then by the end of it, he's like, I told you to get off the shed! Police are also encouraging residents to adopt the 9 p.m. routine, a nationwide initiative employed by police departments to help prevent theft. At 9 p.m. every night, residents should make sure their doors and windows are locked. Doors to their homes are locked, and all the alarms are activated. The 9 p.m. routine. That's like a 7 p.m. routine for me.
You know, not only do I lock all my doors in my car at night, but I also fill all the doorknobs with 100,000 volts of energy. So if you touch my car, you'll be electrocuted.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm telling everybody.
It's move-out day for UMass Amherst students, meaning thousands will be leaving town as commencement weekend begins.
And thousands of people will be stuck on Route 9 being unable to get into unsolvable traffic.
Over 11,000 students will be moving out of the residence hall alone over the next 2 days. If you have a student on campus, you'll want to know the best ways in and out, and if you don't, you'll likely want to avoid the area. UMass, is that how it's pronounced?
No, that's UMass.
I don't know. I see it on the back of the shorts that they sell. Doesn't that mean ass?
No, it's UMass.
Is telling the public to plan ahead. Expect heavy traffic delays and road closures as students head home for the summer. To make things as smooth as possible, streets into campus will be designated one-way or closed completely. Fearing Street will be closed to westbound traffic for move-out on Wednesday and Thursday. While it's the end of the school year, it's just the beginning of commencement weekend. Ceremonies begin Friday with the doctoral hooding ceremony at 9 a.m., and the undergraduate commencement ceremony will begin at 5 p.m. That same day at McGuirk Alumni Stadium, the Masters in Education commencement happens on Sunday. UMass is asking anyone attending the university's free to use the university's free shuttle bus service. So try to avoid the area if you don't have to go there.
It is a graduation weekend all over the place. I'll be going to a graduation this weekend also.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you going to be taking a shuttle bus? Probably.
I'm not taking a shuttle bus at all. I'm going to be going into a parking garage and walking to the Civic Center in which it is being held?
The shuttle bus is the best route.
Yes, in Amherst, the shuttle bus probably would be your best option.
Sit down and shut your hole.
Yeah.
We are going to the commencement ceremony.
Yeah, keep your conversations down on the shuttle bus.
Keep it down to a quiet roar. I still can't remember. I don't know what movie that's from. And I keep repeating the line. If you could keep it down to a quiet roar. Yeah.
Well, look it up.
No, I don't want to look it up. I want to not know.
Really?
Yeah. Let's just not know.
Keep it down to a dull roar or a quiet roar?
Quiet roar. Who did you find one?
I saw a dull roar. Okay, keep it down to could have been any number of different things.
All right.
It didn't really help me at all.
It didn't help you.
No, there is a Seinfeld line, but I don't know if that's what you're thinking of.
Oh yeah, it was Seinfeld.
Was it?
Yeah, that was when Kramer was trying to get some rest.
Ah, okay. All right. Well, let's see if I can get here.
Oh, man. What a day. I use a drink.
Tough day at the office?
People kept coming in, and that phone just wouldn't stop.
Well, we better get going if we're going to go to that 7 o'clock cold fusion.
Yeah, well, count me out. I'm swimming in it. Old man Leland is busting my hump over these reports. If I don't get them done by 9, I'm toast. All right. Oh, and listen,
There it is.
could you keep it down to a low roar?
Low roar.
Some of us have to work in the morning.
There we go.
A low roar.
A low roar.
Yeah, I was wrong about that. Well, at least now I found out.
Well, answers have been given now.
Yeah, but I would have liked to have not known.
Well, I'm very sorry to have
You ruined it for
answered
me.
the question.
Well, now I know, and now you ruined it for me. So thanks a lot, Bax.
It's what I do.
Hey, a guy in Louisiana got arrested on Mother's Day after he was caught pleasuring himself inside of a display shed at Lowe's. Whoa. I could see this at a Home Depot, but a Lowe's? We have a classier kind of folk here.
Wait a minute. This wasn't a shed at his house. This was a demo model?
Yeah.
Like he's walking around Lowe's and said, man, I've never been so horny in my life.
Yeah.
I'm going to need to find a shed for a little alone time.
It happened around 5 p.m. on Sunday at a Lowe's in New Orleans, in a suburb of New Orleans suburb of Slidell. It was one of those tool sheds you've seen in front of Lowe's and Home Depot that show different storage options they've got. Somebody peered inside and saw a naked guy. Police showed up, searched 4 or 5 sheds, and eventually found him lying on his back with his pants around his ankles, and there was an open tub of Vaseline next to him.
Oh, my gosh.
They don't even sell Vaseline at a Lowe's, do they?
Well, they sell lubricants, but usually those
but
are
not
for plumbing purposes.
I don't know if I've ever noticed if they've served I could see a PB blaster. Now that would have been the lube to use.
Yeah, right.
Or a WD-40.
WD-40, I don't know if that, I don't know if that's the best stuff.
Yeah. But this guy, Vaseline, I don't know if I've ever seen that. They might sell it there.
Axle grease, perhaps.
They also said he had an electronic device, so probably a phone. He admitted he'd been pleasuring himself and he was just watching YouTube.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
By the way, just for reference, I have never been that horny in a Lowe's or a Home Depot.
I'm actually impressed by the privacy at a Lowe's. I have a hard time going into a public restroom and hoping that somebody doesn't peek under the stall while I'm doing my business.
Until that one day when someone does and you say, what took you so long?
That should be the selling point for the sheds. Look how much privacy you can get in here.
A man can really stretch out into something like this.
That's taking man cave a little too seriously, don't you think?
Yeah, I do.
Well, I'm creating stalactites for the man cave.
Yeah, no, that's something you do at home.
They didn't release his name and age, but he is facing charges for obscenity.
Well, they caught him red-handed.
Oh, yeah! That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Is it public? Is it obscenity if somebody purposely goes in and sees you?
Well, I mean, they would be watching you in the midst of a lewd act.
Right, but you were in a storage shed. The door was closed.
But if you
opened the door because you were looking for a guy who supposedly was naked, and then you opened the door, now who's being obscene? I think the police here are at fault.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, what happens when you come upon a suspect pleasuring himself in a display shed?
Well, knock on wood, Steve. That has not happened where I've come across someone like that.
Well, usually, you know what? The good thing is they got those shop towels in aisle 6.
The microfiber ones.
Yeah,
right.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe he was, because Lowe's has that thing where they tell you exactly what aisle and location an item is. So maybe he was looking for cleanup supplies.
Yeah, right.
And he's like, I was just about to go to aisle 4A, row 2.
I don't think that's where he was looking to arrive.
Those blue shop towels.
Uh-huh.
That would clean it up.
Sure would.
All that Vaseline. And then you get that orange goop stuff that you put on your hands to wash your hands off to break down the oils and everything. I mean, I kind of sound like I know what I've been doing.
Yeah, you sound like someone who's
Yeah.
done it more than once. You go to a hardware store and you come me a little bit, little software at the end of it.
This would never be accepted at a Rockies, ever.
Listen, you get good people, rock solid service, but you know there's a limit.
At Rockies, they tell you, "Oh, you want a bunch of J-offs? Go to Home Depot. They're all over there. If you're into that kind of thing,
you'll find people to help you at a Rockies. You can go to Home Depot, wait 35 minutes, never see anyone who's going to ask you, "Is there anything I can do to help?"
Yeah, right. Yeah, a guy who knows
you're never going to find that there.
A guy who knows nothing about self-pleasuring asking you if you need help. That's the kind of people that work in a bone deep throat.
And that's the difference between good customer service
and rock solid service.
And rock solid service.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my God. What have we become?
Well, this is the show.
Yes.
This is what we do.
For now.
Yeah. Until it's not anymore. But you know what? At least we had fun doing it. To suggest that somebody at a Rockies would have helpful material. Hey, by the way, we have material that you can use to help yourself.
That is right.
Yeah.
Anyhow, look at the time.
Oh, hey, it's going to be rainy today with a high of 73. Tomorrow, rainy with a high of 79. It's 63 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah.
When my mom started
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 7:55, and Led Zeppelin with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be rainy today with a high of 73. It is 62 right now in downtown Springfield.
A great comedy show is coming to the Mass Mutual Center May 22nd. Comedian Tom Segura is coming to town, and we happen to have a pair of tickets that can be yours. 10th caller right now at 293-1021. Tom Segura.
Yeah, I'll be there with my date.
Your boss.
It's a date.
It's not a date. It's like two buddies hanging out.
Define what a date is. A date is one person who's going to buy me dinner, which would be him buying me dinner on a company credit card. Hopefully.
Sure.
We have to get the authorization for that first. But he's going to buy me dinner, and then we're gonna go to the show together.
Is there any chance of you making out?
No.
Then it's probably not much of a date,
well,
is it?
You know, no date has to end on a makeout. You don't have to kiss the person at the end of the night.
Well,
date is a date.
Are you doing this as like a one-shot deal, or is this the kind of thing where if it works out, you'll see each other more often?
I don't know. I'm kind of taking a liking to him.
Listen, he's a good man, but I'm just saying, be careful out there.
Well, him and I share the we like the same comedian.
Yeah,
and that's why I asked him to go, because we were talking months ago, and I said I had these tickets, and he said, "Oh yeah, I love Tom Segura," and I'm like, "Do you want to go with me?" And he said yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
And
Well-
now I'm trying to squeeze dinner out of it.
Well, you paid for the tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah. The least he can do is,
Listen,
flip for dinner.
I don't just open these legs for anybody. You have to.
Yeah,
There
because you
has
don't want
to
to
be
be.
some sort of.
You don't want to be seen as cheap.
a prostitutorial exchange.
Right, of
going
course.
on here.
Yeah.
Listen, I bought these tickets, and now you're gonna buy me dinner.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's still a little kind of transactional in the early stages of this relationship.
And a dinner that is equal to the value or more expensive than the value of the ticket.
And how much did you pay for the tickets?
$90.
$90 for
Yeah.
the two dinner.
I think we get $120 dinner out of it.
Yeah, I think
what do you
at
think?
least I wouldn't I wouldn't put up with going to like McDonald's down the street.
Well, actually, that would probably be $90 by the time we were done with it.
It's 7:57. Good luck at Rock 102.
Rock 102. And now, Bax's View from the Couch. Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware, Benjamin Moore Paint, Cabot Stains, plus rock solid painting advice and expertise.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Folks, I'm not necessarily one of those weak-minded knuckleheads that thinks that my looming intentions are floating around the universe and affecting the outcomes of postseason basketball games. I do, however, find that my recent predictions show a concerning lack of credibility. And as such, what I should be doing is not telling you what I think is going to happen. What I should be telling you is the exact opposite of the thing that I think is going to happen. For example, yesterday, I offered a profound lack of confidence in the Boston Celtics following that season-ending injury to Jason Tatum the other night. I predicted that the Celtics, who suddenly trailed the Knicks in the Eastern Conference semifinals, were teetering on the edge of being eliminated from the playoffs. After all, they were down 3-1. Their best player blew out his Achilles. Why wouldn't I think that way? And yet, last night, the Celtics pounded the Knicks in Game 5, 127-102, with Derek White knocking down 34 points, Jaylen Brown with 26, a total ass-whooping. And now it's forced the series to a Game 6, which will be tomorrow night at Madison Square Garden. Now, since my predictions for the last several games have all been wrong, I've decided to switch gears and make statements that reflect the exact opposite of everything I believe in. That way, the universe hears one thing without ever figuring out where I'm going with all that other stuff. This is why I predict that the Celtics will lose tomorrow night, even though I think there's a very good chance that they won't. However, that's the part I'm keeping to myself. Again, I'm not one who believes in jinxes, curses, whammies, or any kind of self-fulfilling prophecies. I'm simply a guy who, in a very small way, is trying to outwit the universe with reverse psychology. Will it work? Absolutely not. Or will it? I guess we'll just have to wait until tomorrow night to know whether I'm onto something here or whether I'm just full of crap, and I can barely wait to find out what it's going to be. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. All the DeWalt 20-volt max power tools. We got killer deals going on right now to Rocky's. $99 each with your Ace Rewards card. Imagine that. DeWalt impact driver, nailer, grinder, plus DeWalt batteries, chargers, and job site speakers. $99 at your neighborhood Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch. Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 8:12 and Kansas with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Rainy today with a high of 73. More of the same for tomorrow with a high of 79. It is 62 right now in downtown Springfield. But again, we need the rain, so it's not like how's that grass going to keep growing 10 feet high?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Without the rain. Let's see. We can talk about travel. We can talk about, well, there's a couple of different stories here. Did you see this video of the lady towing the car in Houston?
No.
There's a woman in Houston who towed her boyfriend's car with a chain.
Okay.
Which, you can typically probably do. I don't know how legal that is, depending on what jurisdiction you're in.
So she's just towing it behind her.
Yeah, but they hooked it up to the back of his car and towed it backwards, which is not how that's done. His Saab, well, that says enough about somebody already.
Right there. Yeah.
His Saab was all over the road, and he was in the driver's seat hanging on for dear life. So he's in the car. She's towing it from she's getting like an SUV. She's towing this car behind her with a chain. to the rear of the vehicle.
Okay.
And the car is just sliding all over the road.
And he's
trying to control it, and it's not working. That would have been a lot better if you had faced the car the other way. Maybe there was some steering issues or something on it, but still.
This is going to sound crazy.
Yeah.
Was there a trailer hitch in the back of the Saab, and that's how they chained it up?
I don't know.
Because as crazy as that sounds, who the hell's got a trailer hitch in the back of a Saab?
Here's a witness talking about what happened.
Oh yeah, okay, right there. Drag.
Right here now?
Yeah.
Now.
You like losing control. I heard when his tire blew out.
Yeah, it's like it's sliding all over the road.
Trying to talk to him, but he didn't want to hear nothing.
Yeah. It was like who told you how to do that? How did you even get a license?
Well,
to not know that when you tow a car, at least have you never seen a car being towed before?
Well, you have a Massachusetts driver's license, right?
Yes.
All right. So did you have to take like the exam when you were in high school? You took, you read through the book of rules, and all of a sudden you had to take the written exam.
Yeah.
There's nothing in the book that I can recall that told you how you are not supposed to tow a vehicle.
So you're pleading ignorance in this case, as if nobody told you.
Well, I would call a towing company if that were or AAA. AAA. This is one more reason why a AAA membership makes so much economical sense. But on the other hand, if I didn't have a membership, I would have probably done it the way that you were suggesting. Facing forward.
Yeah.
Assuming that I knew how to attach the chain to the vehicle in a safe fashion. Doesn't sound like that's what was happening here.
No, it sounds like somebody who doesn't again had no vision of a car being towed before. Why wouldn't you tow it from the front? I guess because it's a Saab and you don't want to ruin the Saab. You know how those Saab people are.
Oh, I know.
Scott Cohen's one of them.
He's got a Saab?
Yeah, you've never seen that before?
I sometimes mistake Saabs from Volvos.
Yeah, it's the classic car for douchebags is what it is. They're all about the Saab.
Well, it's like any...
And I say that because he's not here to defend himself.
I totally get it. But, I also know that you would be more than willing to criticize him right to his face.
Oh, yeah, I would say it right to his face, along with the tattoo that he's got of the martini on it that says Cape Cod.
Listen, buddy, there's nothing wrong with my Saab. Even if it is the car of phonies. You couldn't swing a dead cat in a Saab dealership without hitting a phony.
You know what? To go back to my comedy routine, at least his tattoo doesn't say Planned Parenthood under the martini.
You'll be able to understand that joke. Where are you performing next, Steve?
The Shortstop Bar and Grill on the 29th. We had to move it from the 22nd because I'm going to the Tom Segura show. I just realized that yesterday. So now we're doing it on the 29th.
Okay.
So there you go. A man in Ohio was arrested after receiving his 20th OVI. They call it different. It's OUI, whatever it is.
He had an OV?
He had an OV. While driving under the influence, here's Spencer Blatnick talking with the officer after getting pulled over, and Officer Scott Dahlgren talking about the arrest.
Do you have your license on you? Good.
Ma'am.
How many drinks have you had tonight? Because I'm getting a pretty strong smell of alcohol coming.
She kind of noticed a vehicle driving that was in front of her. A pretty slow rate of speed is what initially caught her attention. It dates back decades. The first one was in 1974. So it starts in the 70s. There's a couple in the 70s. There's multiple in the 80s, multiple in the 90s. It's disturbing. We're out here. We try and protect. We serve our public. Anytime somebody gets behind the wheel of a car, it's dangerous when they've been drinking.
Can you imagine getting 20 of those? Usually people learn their lesson after...
One.
2, okay, maybe you have an issue going on and you need some rehab. 3, usually do some jail time at that point. But 20? That's the way the laws are written, though, in Ohio. This guy obviously, clearly, you would think after, the 6th or 7th one, you'd be doing some hard time for that.
You would think that if you were to make the same mistake over and over again, and, listen, it is very expensive to pay for an OUI. Very. To get your license back, to serve your time, to have a lawyer help you through all this. It's very expensive. To go through it 20 times.
I'm guessing this guy didn't even have a license. You know.
Well, my guess is they would never have given him a license after all of this. Even after what are you going to do in Massachusetts to have it revoked for life?
I think you got to have like maybe 3 or 4. Three, maybe.
So there were 17 other times that he just couldn't. They just couldn't take him off the road. Persistent little bugger, isn't he?
He would have been better off with a AAA membership. You just call the guy. Just say your car's broken down. The guy will tow the car to your house.
It's the way to do it.
You know how many OVIs?
Yeah.
What does V mean?
Operating vehicle intoxicated?
Is that?
I have no idea.
Oh well, there you go.
By the way, I'm sure that the tow truck drivers all over the area are so happy that you just suggested I'll become a livery service for you people who try to avoid a DUI.
Well, you can only do that 3 times. I mean, with a platinum membership, even with the 200-mile tow. See, if you're going out for a night in Boston, that's when you do it. You use that unlimited tow that you have. Hey, I got 200 miles I can use on this baby. Let's go out for it. At that point, it might be cheaper to just take the train.
Or call an Uber.
Yeah. And here's another final story here. Do you ever book an Airbnb? You ever stay in an Airbnb?
Yeah.
I can't do it. There's something about staying in somebody's house.
We did it. We did it over Christmas break.
Yeah.
In Florida. It wasn't a bad place if you didn't mind the gigantic cockroaches.
Well, if you're
and the crummy neighborhood.
If you're booking in an Airbnb, you might skip over a long list of amenities because most of them don't really matter. Hangers, first aid kits, tea kettles, measuring spoons, outlet covers, and reading material. But here's something you should look out for: hot water. A woman named Tanya is going viral after she shared her interaction with an Airbnb host who messaged her to say there was a temporary issue with the hot water at the property she rented. It took less than a week. It was less than a week before her stay, so she asked if she could be refunded if it wasn't fixed before she arrived. They said they'd be unable to offer a refund in this situation because hot water was not included as an amenity in the booking.
Huh.
That's a cheap way to get out of it.
You kind of expect that, don't you?
They apologized for the inconvenience and appreciated her understanding, and she responded, so you're choosing to rip me off because you didn't list an assumed amenity. You also didn't list windows and doors. Are they missing too?
A roof? That would have been a good one.
The host didn't budge, but Airbnb stepped in with a full refund. They're also helping her with another booking. They're going to review the other host, but it's unclear if anything is going to come out of that. Apparently, hot water is an amenity option that hosts can check when listing a property, and technically, they may only be responsible for delivering on the stuff that they promise. Still, you'd think there'd be an expectation for something like that. I mean, I could see, like, if you're renting out a yurt, like one of those things in the middle of the woods.
Right.
Okay, I can see hot water not being part of something like that. But if you're renting a home or even a condo for the week, you would have a high expectation that hot water would be included in that.
That's a pretty good assumption.
Yeah.
That hot water is probably one of the more important things. Because, there's usually reviews under each property for people who stayed there before. If you find someone saying that, not all the windows were installed and we had no hot water for a week.
Yeah,
I would think that review would probably show up.
I just, with the people with the cameras being so small, I'd be worried I'd be being spied on. Now I get the outdoor cameras; you can have those, but I'm talking about like the indoor cameras. Yeah, people watching you.
That's creepy.
Because there's some creep out there that's doing that.
Of course there is.
Yeah. I don't trust somebody, a random stranger, to take a shack in their house for a week. Everything's perfectly safe here. Except for all these videos that I've been watching of you undressing in the bathroom. Not to say that wouldn't be able to happen at a Marriott.
Yeah, well, but they typically don't have cameras in the rooms.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. So that was our lackluster performance of the 8 o'clock segment here of the Bax and Nagle show because we just didn't feel like doing anything else today.
It's 8:23 on Rock 102.
Are you ready to go to the jungle?
Live in 8:34 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by Yankee Home Improvement. If you're thinking about a new walk-in shower system, call Yankee Home and mention Rock 102. Get $1,021 off plus 50% off installation all month long. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. There was a confirmed hostage situation in Holyoke Wednesday evening. According to authorities, that situation was resolved as of 10 p.m. last night, and there is no threat to the public. 22 News received calls of an incident in the city just a little before 10 p.m. Holyoke Police Chief Brian Keenan said that the suspect barricaded himself and eventually surrendered without incident. The suspect is now in police custody, and they will be in district court today. The 22 News crews could see police cars at the scene just after 10:30 p.m.
You don't say. In the midst of a hostage situation.
Well, you're telling me that at a scene of a potential crime going on, police cars were there.
Never thought I'd live to see the day where police would respond to a crime
in
progress.
And they said they're going to keep you updated, but we all know they won't.
Well, this happened, 10 p.m. last night?
Yeah.
And here it is, 8:35 in the morning. Have we received any updates since?
No, we'll find out next December of 2026 what the follow-up was on that.
All right. Well, I wait with bated breath.
Do you?
Yes.
Let's see. That's a recycling facility. Do you really want to hear about that?
Well, I mean, I've been sorting my bottles and cans for weeks.
Westover Auto Salvage has become the first automotive recycling facility in Western Massachusetts to partner with the Shift Vehicle Retirement Initiative. Shift is a national program aimed at removing end-of-life vehicles from... Is it?
End-of-life vehicles?
You mean junk cars? That's like calling the homeless people undomiciled. Or what was the one over at... the justice-involved people at the prison. End-of-life vehicles?
End-of-life. I've never heard that before.
From roadways and supporting environmentally responsible vehicle dismantling, the Belchertown-based company announced the milestone this week, marking a significant step forward in efforts to reduce automotive-related emissions and promote a circular economy in the region. The partnership requires participating recyclers to commit to fully retiring a vehicle's engine once it enters the Shift program.
Are we trying not to offend the car itself? Like we don't want to hurt its feelings?
This is like Kevorkian Auto Salvage. We're peacefully putting these cars to sleep.
Your car will be crossing the Rainbow Bridge.
I'll see you at the Rainbow Bridge. That's what I'm going to say to my Sienna when it has to be put out of its misery. You've endured goldfish crackers, you've endured juice boxes spilled in the seats, and now it's your time to rest.
Here lies my beloved Chevelle. How I long for your days.
Yeah. At facilities like ours, we take a scientific approach to automotive recycling and scalpel to the remains of retired vehicles to ensure as much of the ELV is recycled as possible.
Good Lord.
I get it. It's a recycling facility, but just the way they're presenting it is as if it's some sort of... This is the humane way of putting a car down. We don't crush them like those other horrible auto salvage... yeah.
Would you like some alone time to say goodbye to your 97 Subaru?
We don't do those awful things they do over at Planned Under the Hood. The vehicle had life once it was on the assembly line. No, the vehicle's not a vehicle until it's fully produced off the line.
We put your car down with dignity.
Yes.
Right.
It's a living thing. To celebrate the partnership, Westover will host an exclusive demonstration showcasing The environmental conscious dismantling of a retired Toyota Tacoma. Oh, he lived his life the way he wanted to.
He really did. His golden years were some of his finest.
You know, he could have wound up in one of them ISIS training videos, but nope, he stuck it out here. He retired a full,
I'll be damned if I'm putting my Corolla in a home.
It was the first vehicle the company received through the Shift program, a Toyota Tacoma. He lived a good life.
He would have liked it that way.
But now you can live out the rest of your days in this peaceful car retirement community.
Yes, where your late car will have an ocean view.
The event will offer a behind-the-scenes look at how ELVs are safely and scientifically depolluted, stripped for parts, and responsibly recycled. You mean junked? Why are we using these terms to talk about how you recycle a vehicle?
Steve, these terms you're using are so insensitive. Think about the car.
Think about the car's family.
Yeah, think about the car's family and its feelings.
They would have wanted it that way. They bought that extra lease protection program that they took out on the car. This was to cover the golden years of the vehicle. Well, what's wrong with that one? Well, that Tacoma has Alzheimer's. He thinks he's a Sienna.
Says here you're the executive, your car's will.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're. Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, you get a tire and.
These expired Pine air fresheners. These are yours forever. May they serve as a reminder.
I don't think you can bury those cars with jewelry.
So the crown air freshener has to stay on the mantle next to the car urn.
Have we come to the society where we're worried about the car's feelings, that we have to speak of it in a different way?
Yes, apparently we now do.
Well, I mean, they do deserve the respect
right
that they do. Let's see. More than 1,000 Starbucks baristas at 75 stores have gone on strike since Sunday to protest a new company dress code. A union representing the coffee giant's workers said Wednesday. Starbucks put new limits on starting Monday on what baristas can wear under their green aprons. The dress code requires employees at company-operated and licensed stores in the U.S. and Canada to wear a solid black shirt and khaki, black, or blue denim bottoms. Under the previous dress code, baristas could wear a broader range of dark colors and patterned shirts. Starbucks said the new rules would make its green aprons stand out and create a sense of familiarity for customers as it tries to establish a more welcoming feeling in its stores.
Well, it's about time.
Because that was the thing I was worried about in the Starbucks. Not the $7 cup of coffee.
Yeah, right.
I was worried about what the barista was wearing under the green apron.
This is the last time I get a drink with 12 espresso shots. After seeing that apron they were wearing?
But Starbucks Workers United, the union that represents workers at 570 Starbucks of 10,000 company-owned U.S. stores, said the dress code should be subject to collective bargaining. Starbucks has lost its way. Instead of listening to baristas who make Starbucks experience what it is, they focused on all the wrong things, like implementing a restrictive new dress code, said Paige Summers, a Starbucks shift supervisor from Hanover. Customers don't care what color our clothes are when they're waiting 30 minutes for a latte. That's exactly my sentiment, too.
I think the moment that Starbucks introduced that coffee infused with olive oil, that's what I started thinking. You know what? Maybe they're not so much thinking about the customer anymore.
It's called the Chaté. I'll have a venti Chaté. What's that? Well, that's when we put like a half a gallon of olive oil in it.
It's the drink we make comes with a big surprise about an hour later.
A huge surprise.
Like you might not even make it to your car kind of surprise.
Yeah. Do you like slip and slides? Because that's what it's going to feel like.
By the way, our bathrooms are only for paying customers.
Yeah. I'll have a double Chaté. With 12 shots of espresso in it, please.
And one sweet and low.
That'll clean. You know what? I might actually do that instead of the Gavelite next time I do the colonoscopy. Just go into Starbucks and order the drink with 12 shots of espresso.
And a cup of olive oil.
And Olita. Your Pioneer Valley forecast today is going to be rainy with a high of 73. Tomorrow, rain with a high of 79. It is 63 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah.
The Lobster Rolls, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 8:50 in bad company with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Rainy with a high of 73 today. It is 63 right now in downtown Springfield.
As many of you may recall, back in June of last year, a horrible situation happened in Wilbraham, in which two people died. And in the studio with us to talk not only about that, but also about a really great fundraiser for the YWCA's domestic violence program is Sophie Parizo. Good to see you.
Glad to be seen. Thanks for having me.
Just give us a little bit of background of what the incident was. We don't have to go into full details or anything,
no
but to remind people what had happened.
Yeah, so back in June, my mother and my brother were tragically murdered in an act of domestic violence by my mother's ex-partner at the time.
Okay, and then in honor to honor them and in their memory, you started Miles for Change, which is tell us a little bit about what this is going to be.
Absolutely, yes. So I had the idea. Honestly, probably a couple of months after the incident, I really just wanted to focus my energy on something positive. And luckily, I have so much support enveloping me and willing to help me with that. And so we had this idea to create 3.3 Miles for Change. 3.3 Miles for Change is a 3.3-mile walk in which all proceeds will be benefiting the YWCA of Western Massachusetts. They have so many incredible programs, but specifically this will help their domestic violence support programs. So it will help resources for domestic violence survivors. And what I really like is it will help their program, which educates their youth on healthy relationships, which I think is so important to take that proactive approach.
One of the things that you had sent us in your package here is that 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men will experience severe physical violence by an intimate partner at some point in their lifetime. When you think about the numbers that's really talking about, it's an enormous number of victims in
Absolutely.
Situations like this. And as far as what the YWCA does, and like you said, they have many programs that help. Do you know specifically what they do with victims of domestic abuse?
The YWCA?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the YWCA is going to help. They actually have housing for victims, so they help housing. They have a multitude of items donated to survivors and their children. They also have housing specialists that help them find housing. They have therapists. They have child clinicians. They have forensic interviewing. So they have so many services that can help both, adults and children, no matter who, in terms of whatever, resources that they might need, along with that proactive approach.
And one of the other things you do point out in here with those numbers, those surprisingly high numbers, the 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men, many of them go silent. There's no reporting of any of this kind of thing, and that can be for any number of things, whether you don't want to experience more violence from a perpetrator, you don't. Or you're too proud to admit that there's a problem there too. But these programs are the things that actually help victims of domestic violence.
Absolutely. And I think, again, that proactive approach is just so important because I think so many victims and survivors maybe aren't even aware of the resources that can be available to them, or maybe might be worried to seek them out. So I think that having an organization that has these things and has this proactive approach in order to, help people and help them learn more, especially because this can be such a silent issue and something that so many people just don't even know the signs, I mean, I can't say that I knew that this was going to happen. And even when you do know the signs, it can be impossible.
This is Sophie Parizo from Miles for Change. One of the things that people don't always understand is that it is an oversimplification for someone to say, well, they should have just left the situation.
Absolutely.
These kinds of these kinds of dynamics and these kinds of abusive situations are so complicated that it is never just a matter of, oh, well, they should just leave. Again, without getting into the details of what happened to your mom and your brother, this is obviously a very complicated situation in which it's not just simply a matter of painting a broad brush and these things just go away. These are very, very delicate, complicated matters. And so when you have someone like the YWCA involved in situations like this, you understand, how important and crucial that mission is for them, because people simply don't fully understand the full dynamic of abusive relationships.
Right. And for that, I can't blame them. I didn't either prior to this happening to me. One of the things I learned in speaking with Liz Deanan of the YWCA is that it actually takes 9 times to successfully leave an abusive relationship, which is an absolutely insane statistic. And it's hard to understand or fathom, again, until you go through it or know someone going through it. And that's what I would like to play a part in, because we should all be more aware of this. It shouldn't be until it happens to you, because the reality of it is no one thinks it's going to happen to them.
The event is June 14th at Fountain Park in Wilbraham. And how can people get involved if they want to either sponsor the event or participate in the run in the walk?
Absolutely, yeah. So the walk is June 14th. It's at 10 a.m. at Fountain Park. Sign-ups can be online. It's $33. You'll notice 3.3 and 33. 33 was my brother's baseball number, which was one of his favorite things in life. So that's a little ode to him. And you can sign up on our website. You can sign up. Children 12 and under are $12. And we also have a Fenway's Friend registration, which is a dog registration for $10. And you can also, there is a link to just donate directly to the YWCA on our website, so you can do that as well. And if you would like to sponsor, you can contact me directly. My contact information is on our website. We also have all the social medias, Instagram, Facebook. If you just search 3.3 Miles for Change, you'll be able to find that along with the link to our website.
And what is the website?
Sorry?
What is the address of the website?
The website is through Red Podium.
Yeah, it's actually milesforchange.redpodium.com, and you can find 3.3 Miles for Change through there.
Great. Sophie, we appreciate you coming in.
Appreciate you having me. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for listening.
Best of luck. It's 8:58 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Call or text us in.
Classic Rock. It's 9:10 and Van Halen with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Another wet day today with a high of 73. It's 63 right now in downtown Springfield. You ready for some fun facts, Bax?
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it hits you in the nads. The backs of life.
The backs of life.
The backs of life. We're not all.
All right, Steve.
All right, ready?
What do we got?
Number one. Most varieties of Oreos are considered vegan, including classic, double stuffed, mega stuffed, golden, and thins. They don't contain milk, eggs, or any animal products. Which technically means vegans can deep throat a double stuff without compromising their morals. Or their colon. It's basically a guilt-free way to get cream on your face. Number two. Doctors say the odds of having identical quadruplets are 1 in 15 million, only 72 documented cases ever. So unless you're one of those 72 women, maybe stop acting like pulling out is a reliable method. Unless you're trying for a whole soccer team to come out of your uterus. Uteruses. And number three. A spotted animal can have a striped tail, but a striped animal can never have a spotted tail.
Wow, who knew?
It's nature's way of saying you can have a crazy ass, but your body better stay consistent. It's the same rules strippers follow when they wear leopard thongs with zebra tops. Number four. Mattel once released a pregnant Barbie named Midge, complete with a detachable baby bump and baby inside, but pulled it after people thought it promoted teen pregnancy. That's not a toy. That's a Planned Parenthood training simulator. When your little boy just launched that baby across the room like a Nerf grenade. Number five. In 1990, 30% of U.S. households had Nintendo, while only 23% had a personal computer. Which means more kids were learning how to shoot ducks and teabag Goombas than do long division. And honestly, that's a very American thing to do. And there you go. That's your fun fact for your Thursday.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it hits you in the nads. The Bax of Life.
The Bax of
The
Life.
Bax of Life.
It's Bax and Nagle at Rock 102.
Guess what, you